So I mentioned when I began that there's some people that we've been working on for a couple of years to actually get here. It's now, I think, almost 2.5 years that we've worked diligently around Clayton Christensen's schedule to see if we could get him to come speak. He's renowned around the world, and he's revered here in Utah, and so I'm going to give a brief introduction. There are highlights. These are highlights. The key introduction is in your program, and I ask you to refer to that, but just note these great features. Professor of Business Administration at Harvard University. Holds a BA from Brigham Young University, a master's in philosophy in applied econometrics from Oxford. As a Rhodes Scholar, received an MBA and a doctorate in business administration from Harvard Business School. And he is currently the Kim B. Clark Professor of Business Administration. He's regarded as one of the world's top experts on innovation and growth. Today, each of you have, at registration, received this book. I said to Michael Sullivan, I said, we can't have Clayton come and not give at least a gift of his book. This is an incredible document that should be sitting on every business leader's desk. It's The Innovator's Dilemma. It's his foundation book, which has been widely held. The revolutionary book that will change the way you do business, right? It's right on the cover. It's worth a close study, as I mentioned. You'll note also over here to my right, while Clayton's speaking, Daniel Fairbanks, he's the Dean of Science and Health at Utah Valley University, an accomplished scientist, artist, author, and teacher, will be sculpting a bust of Clayton while he's speaking and throughout the day out in the foyer out here. Daniel's also a parent of Michael Fairbanks, who is a severely autistic young man. Their families devoted themselves to genetic research on autism at the University of Utah and at George Washington University to promote autism awareness. You'll hear more about that a little bit later today from the governor as he speaks this afternoon. And to the Autism Initiative at Utah Valley University. We'll speak again about the sculpture later on today at lunch, and you'll again enjoy him preparing this out in the foyer. So without further ado, let me introduce Mr. Clayton Christensen, Dr. Clayton Christensen. Thank you.
Well, I really am honored to be able to come here. It's fun to come home. I don't miss Utah until I come back and I realize how much there is here. It's just a couple of other things about me that Spencer didn't point out. I'm the president of the Jordan River Yacht Club. It was established in 1967, 4 members. To be admitted, you had to build a wood and canvas kayak so that we could go up and down the Jordan River during our teenage years. And as you can imagine, thousands of people have applied for admission to the Jordan River Yacht Club. We have not yet admitted anybody. But if you might meet the qualifications, we'll be happy to consider you. Another thing that you should know about is I had a stroke a couple of years ago, and a clot came from somewhere and just lodged itself right there in my brain, and it killed the portion of my brain where you formulate speech and writing. And I was giving a talk, and all of a sudden I just started to say gibberish, and I lost my ability. And as a teacher and writer, that was a bad development. But with the support of a wonderful family and a great therapist, and I went to the Boston airport and got a copy of Rosetta Stone for English. I've been learning how to speak English again, one word at a time. And so as we talk, you'll notice that I struggle to find a word. And if those of you who are in front know the word that I'm trying to say, if you'll just shout it out, then we'll all benefit. And you'll notice that I speak more slowly than the average person, and that's because I'm just slow. But on the other hand, I'm glad a little bit that I'm slow, because I have to be careful about the words that I choose. And you'll also notice sometimes that I speak to the floor and not to you. I apologize for that, but if I look at you, you'll distract me. And if I look at the floor, I can remember what I need to say next. So I wouldn't call that a disability, but it really has been, I'm glad that it happened, because I think it's made me be more thoughtful. What I thought I would talk about is, as if Natalie and I had coordinated our presentations, but I'd like to build upon a number of the points that she made. A couple of years ago, the McKinsey Global Study Group studied the 9 recessions that America has been through since 1948. And as you can imagine, when we go into a recession, we can hit bottom and the economy can rebound, but employment doesn't immediately rebound also, because you can grow without hiring more people for a while. And then you have to hire people. And so the rebound in the labor market lags the economy. And during the 6 of the 9 recessions, it took about 6 months after the economy hit bottom for the employment to hit bottom. But we had a recession in 1992, 93-ish, where it took our economy 15 months to see employment rebound. And then we had another recession in 2001, 2002. It took our economy 39 months to turn employment around. And then we had another recession in 07, 08. And it's been now 60 months since our economy ostensibly turned around. And the employment picture still hasn't moved much. And so something has fundamentally gone wrong with our economy, that it's just harder and harder and harder to bring employment back. And we call these things jobless recoveries. And so I've been trying to think this through over the last year or so, to try to figure out what's gone wrong, and is there a way to fix it. So if we could look off the first diagram, I hope. We decided to study this, that there are about 3 fundamentally different types of innovation. And the reason why we decided to study